big heavy branches like this hanging over your fence is not a good idea. This branch was hanging right over the fence, and one day it will come down and crash the fence. Oh yeah, it's coming. You're my superhero.
Yep.
What are they calling those things? Widowmakers?
Yeah. What a widowmaker is actually a tree. Usually they're very tall trees that look fine, but the top is dead. And when they would start chopping on the tree, because they took them down with axes, right? Or even a chainsaw, it would disturb the tree, and the top would come crashing down from, like, 50 meters in the air. A big chunk of tree top. That was the widowmaker, but these also would function as widowmakers. These are new ones, right? Like that's a first year plant, which can be taken out, dug out, and before it forms a huge root.
Are you suggesting that we deal with the small issues while the small issues are still small issues?
Yeah. A stitch in time saves 9. A stitch in time saves 9.
What does that mean?
That means if you look after something, when it just starts to deteriorate,
or
you
even
save
before?
a lot of work later, or even before.
How long do you think this property has been left to go to pieces to look like this?
I don't know, 3-4 years, 5 years maybe. I'm sure somebody knows exactly. They were responsible for looking after it or not looking after it.
So does this property need regenerative agriculture?
Every property needs regenerative agriculture. It's just the way to go. Agriculture that increases fertility, increases biodiversity, increases soil health, sequesters carbon dioxide, all of those things. That's what regenerative agriculture is. Something that is puts more in than you take out. If you do it properly, then systems are virtually self-maintaining. Takes a lot more time and forethought in the beginning when you're setting up, but it saves you lots in the end, lots of time, lots of money, and plus you have all these benefits. Of course, you could come in here with a weed whacker or use some fossil fuel, create a lot of noise and unpleasant working conditions for the operator, and and knock these things down. But the saw actually does quite a good job, and it's good exercise.
I was gonna say, sweetie, and you look awesome. Full of beans.
Well, I'm happy to work this while it's in the shade. This is soon going to disappear. Then I'll move on to other things. That probably needs sharpening.
Yeah? What if I whack my way to you? Is that the same sharpener that you were using for the side?
Yeah.
Okay. And then all of this stuff needs to be collected and what, like burned?
Well, in a big pile, at least you contain the spread, you know. It's not going to spread so easily.
That's a lovely run-in. And big too. This is almost a monoculture, isn't it?
I beg to differ. There's at least 3 kinds of noxious weeds growing in here. A burdock, Canada thistle, and ragweed, which I'm allergic to. I'm happy to see them.
Oh, and they're all here together.
And they're all here together, one happy family of noxious weeds.
How do you call these guys?
Noxious.
Noxious, not obnoxious.
Well, when you try to cut them, they're obnoxious. No, they're called noxious weeds because they're on a prescribed list of weeds that you're supposed to control on your property in order to prevent the spread of them to your neighbor's property. There's a long list. There's probably 30 species. And we're not talking invasive species. These are just the unwanted native species.
This is like violating bylaws, or?
Well, yeah. The townships seldom enforce these bylaws unless, usually if it's an abandoned field that somebody was growing crops on and then just stopped without putting anything else in. This is a massive run-in, very spacious. And it's got a couple of feet of poop in the bottom. And a tribe of mosquitoes hanging out. So, my dear, I'm not hanging out with the mosquitoes. Bye.
Yeah, once this is cleaned out, this is going to be a lovely run-in for the horses.
Yep.
This may need a chainsaw. Oh, just a branch. But sweetie, maybe we shouldn't bother. I mean, this whole area needs to be cleaned up by Rob.
Well, fuck. And here, yes, it needs to be cleaned up, and then everything's gone to seed. And then there's 5 million more thistles coming next year. So, you know, if it's 15 minutes of my time, to me it's well worth it. And at least I feel like we're kind of getting ahead of it on top.